World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
Hello, and welcome once again to another fantastic Tuesday where your dressed down CEO host, Tyrone Glover, coming from here live in Yonkers, New York. I want to thank you for making it to the program. It's been a crazy busy day. Dealing with all of what we know is going on in the world and also dealing with some of the things that are out of our control. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, as we have now entered April, which is Financial Literacy Month, I thought I would bring back a good old favorite to reinforce some of the things that you may have forgotten. We want to make sure that you are on point. This week, I was planning on bringing my troops in. But as you know, busy life gets in the way, and sometimes you gotta be able to course correct in a matter of a flick of a wrist, flick of a thumb, boom, got to course correct, and we did that. So our troops will be in next week, so please come back, tune in, because we're going to be bringing our youth of color, our troops, our students, our athletes. We're going to be bringing them into the program to help you understand youth of color. Why is it so essential that you must learn what financial literacy is, how money works, as our good friend Dr. Yana B talks about, and how do we make sure we can navigate these insane times that are in front of us. And remember, a lot of what you might think, and some of us may have this same type of understanding. You think it's your fault. It's not your fault. It's not. Please, I want everybody to do me a favor. I want you to own up to what is yours, which is 10% of some of these financial situations that you find yourself in. 10%. I want you to, tonight, I want you to literally do yourself a favor. Own up to 10%, because 90% of what has happened to you financially is not even your fault. Yes, I said it. It's not your fault. It is not your fault. But we want to first recognize Soul City Network. The programming that we have is available nationwide, nationally, on Comcast Radio, Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. So you're getting this from a variety of understandings. So definitely tune in. If you can't tune in now, make sure you come back later and go to our Facebook, go to our YouTube. Soul City Network. Make it a part of your understanding every Tuesday, and not just Tuesdays. There's some great programming going on here at Soul City almost daily. Get you some of that knowledge, get you some of that information, and definitely tune into those outstanding opportunities that are going to be created. What's up, Eric? How you doing there, sir? It is Financial Literacy Month, and we want to make sure if you have any questions, concerns, comments as we go through the show, pop those questions and comments into the areas in which you are able to type them in. So let's get this program started. Welcome again to the broadcast, everyone, whether you are right here in front of me or if you're at another location. Thank you for making time. # make time to be here, because this is all for you, people. This is all to make sure that every single person who wants to become financially literate, who's standing in your way? Who do you think is standing in your way from becoming financially literate? You said it. You're the only obstacle. You are your only competition. All right. So let's go ahead and get this program started. And what we're going to be talking about is the cost of ignorance. Why financial literacy is essential for America's future. If you saw what I saw in the markets over the last couple of days, again, you don't want to be in that most vulnerable space. And this is why I go back to that 10%. The people who lost what they lost had nothing to do with them. And as I've been trying to tell all of my colleagues and friends and passerbyers and people who spark up that conversation about financial literacy, about being smart about money, you know what they're seeing? They're seeing that it's not their fault. They're seeing that it was somebody else who had an influential role that cost them trillions of dollars. Now, not trillion per individual, obviously not, but collectively, trillions of dollars lost. And what's so sad about that loss is that you lost it in such a big fashion versus how you gained it, which was marginally. All right. So it's going to take some of you about 3 to 5 years to not get whole, because that's never going to happen. But you might have to postpone that retirement. You might have to put things off. And if you are financially literate, no matter what happens moving forward, you're going to be able to navigate that space. All right. So with that being said, we are ready to rock and roll. Okay, so financial literacy is important. Opportunities won't wait. So why should you? Why should you wait for the boss to come knock on that door to give you that job? That's not going to happen. Why should you wait for the bank to come knock on that door and ask you, hey, you know what? You want that loan for that business or you want that loan from that house? No, be prepared. So when it's time to get what you need, there is no problems in getting it. Your financial future starts here today. Financial Literacy Month on April 4th. I want to shout out to my baby sister. Happy birthday, Gail, which was yesterday. Happy belated birthday. And I want to give a shout out to my brother, my nephew-in-law, Bobby. Happy birthday to you as well. So unlock the power of financial freedom, because when we rise together, we thrive together. We have to create a community when it comes to talking about financial literacy. You want to know something that you probably don't know? Rich people talk about money all the time. So why is it that poor people do not? And I'm going to stop calling us poor, but why is it that the marginalized communities that should have, because they spend their money just as in, if not more, so why is it that we don't talk about it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the day where we break that cycle. We're going to make it an important subject matter moving forward throughout the month of April, which is Financial Literacy Month. You can expect to see us in our town squares. You can expect to see us in our neighborhoods, in other areas as well, getting this message out. When we rise together, we thrive together. All right? Would you like a version tailored for your youth, professionals, or a specific audience? If that's so, meet me where I meet most of my individuals, in my Discord right here at Soul City. Send me an email, send me a text, and we can sit down and we can orchestrate, put something together for you specifically and your professionals, so that, again, you can start having that conversation. You can start within your own household, within your own school organization, within your own business. You can start having that conversation within your churches, within your youth organizations and programs. Let's make financial literacy for this particular month not just a talking matter that we only talk for 1 or 2 days and then we forget about it until the next Financial Literacy Month comes around. Let's make sure that we're doing it on a regular basis. You're going to always be able to find me and my troops on our Discord here at Soul City. And as we build out our platform, we're going to be in a majority of other spaces as well. All right, so learning outcome for today. Unlock knowledge that empowers you today. Everything that we're going to be talking about is for you to put into action, not tomorrow, but today. If you want to put it off until tomorrow, that's perfectly fine. But don't put it off any longer. Oh, I'll get to it next week. Oh, I'll get to it next month. If you keep putting it off, you're never going to see the change that you're looking for. All right, so we're going to be unlocking the power of financial literacy. Why is it a game changer for your life? We're going to be talking about transform your future, the life-changing impacts of setting clear financial goals. We're going to talk about from surviving to thriving, mastering money management for stability and growth. From surviving to thriving. Unfortunately, a lot of us are just existing. We're not even fully living, and we got to break that cycle. We're just existing, and we're not even fully living. We have to break that cycle. All right? Building wealth with wisdom. You see all this gray right here, ladies and gentlemen? This gray is wisdom. I was told that a couple of days ago by a good friend. Wisdom. These are wisdom strands. And this wisdom, some of it is stress, no question about it, because I grew up hard. I grew up hard and got real lucky as time went on. And that luck didn't come just by chance. That luck came because I have nothing but faith. Faith in that creator, faith in how I'm supposed to be in this space at this particular time for these very events. And you are probably where you need to be equally for the same understanding. So we're going to be building wealth with wisdom, how to apply financial knowledge for long-term success. What we know in this space is going to help you no matter how old, no matter how young. Get these young folks started early. See this little baby right here? Early. Get them on that calculator. Get them started early. You see this young person over here with this wise gray wisdom individual? Get them started early. The earlier you get it, the easier it's going to be to make it a behavior and a transitional moment in your life. And as soon as you do, I'm telling you, the reward that you're going to see, there are so many components to the financial space. And we like to focus on that credit piece. We like to focus on that investing piece. We like to focus on another element that is somewhat controversial, which is that day trading piece. We like to focus on spaces and places and faces that are being ignored from this particular understanding. And no one can be excluded. This must be an inclusive understanding. No one. Talking primarily to our marginalized communities, which are our African-American communities and our Hispanic brothering and sistering, but we're going to include those other ethnic groups as well. Middle Eastern, we know you're struggling. Some of you here in this United States, the Asian population, we know you're struggling. And obviously the Caucasians, we know you're struggling. Not everybody is a Donald Trump or a Elon Musk or a Warren Buffett or a Jeff Bezos or a Bill Gates. We know that we're not going to be able to roam in those circles, but we do. As they have made their wealth, we equally can create a pathway for us to create generational wealth as well. So understanding financial literacy, unlock the power of financial literacy. Financial literacy is more than a number. It's about making, and this pops up all the time, informed, effective decisions. If you are informed, your decisions are going to help you. They're going to allow for you to feel comfortable once you make that decision. When you're informed, you do things differently. When you're not informed, you do things with that, well, if it happens, it doesn't happen. But if you're informed, the outcome should always be a plus. Financial literacy is not a luxury. It is a necessity in today's economy. It's going to prevent you from that job, which it shouldn't, because there was a law that was passed under the Obama administration where that question should not even be on the applications any longer. But you know what I know, or you probably don't know what I know, but what I know and I have seen, that question is popping back up. And should you omit it from your answer, then the likelihood of you getting that job may not be there. And plus, if you add it to, and your employer goes and sees that your financial situation might not be ideal, but nevertheless, you have the control. And this is what we're attempting to convey to everyone out there. You have the control over your financial destiny. Stop leaving it in the hands of those who do not understand that you want more for your life because they think they're deserving of your money. Yes, a lot of these banks and financial institutions, they think they are deserving of your money. And we have to change that narrative. right? It involves mastering budgeting, savings, investing, and managing debt. Once you have these things in control, it's going to be so much easier. And if you do it once or maybe twice out of the month, all right? If you don't want to do all your bills in one setting, well, do it in two settings. But leave that time. Make that time to sit down and go over what needs to be gone over, and also include the kids, include the spouse, include the individuals inside that household so that they understand money don't grow on trees. It's not just a little card that you take to the machine and money comes out of it. There's a whole process and for that money to actually make it to that machine, for you to get that card to actually withdraw that funds. All right. So financial literacy is it's a huge, massive conversations where there are multiple components. And we're going to be talking about a few of them. Plus, we're going to bring some experts in that also can help you if you need other advice or information that's going to help you thrive in this economy. Those who understand financial literacy navigate complex financial systems with confidence. It's just that simple. You'll go to the bank and you'll not necessarily demand or tell them what you want, but you'll have a conversation where they'll understand, wow, this is somebody who really gets it. And you can easily walk away from a situation that doesn't suit you. This is another one of the big problems. We are settling. We are settling for high interest rates. We're settling to be in a space where, again, they're taking advantage, and we need to stop settling. We came to this country in 1400s and we're still settling in 2025. No, that doesn't add up, people. Doesn't add up. All right. So here's a quote that I want you to walk away with. With knowledge comes power, and with power comes financial independence. Okay. With knowledge comes power, and with power comes financial independence. Once you are independent, you will never look back to become dependent. All right. I hope that registered with some of you, but let's keep this party going. So why financial literacy matters? The impact of financial literacy. All right. Empowerment. Financial literacy empowers individuals to make, again, informed decisions and take control of their financial future. It's just that simple. Informed decisions to take control. We want individuals in control over their financial destinies. Don't leave it in the hands of your employer. Don't leave it in the hands of the people who claim that they're managing your finances. Don't leave it in the hands of individuals who do not understand your circumstances and how you want to thrive in this economy, because you're not conveying it, and they're definitely not asking you, well, how do we help you? How do we get you out of this situation? You have to want to get out of these situations. And once you get out of these situations, guess what's going to be there? Nothing but the fruits of your labor. All right. So control, protect. It safeguards against common financial pitfalls, reducing the risk of debt scams and economic instabilities. And we've watched a lot of economic instability over the last week. And if you go back to the inauguration, again, I don't know how the numbers aren't finally all there, but the numbers that I have researched and heard of are somewhere roughly close to about $11 trillion. In that, you got to think about something. That money went in because we, the individuals, put that money into the stock market. And when you put something into the stock market and it gets lost, that means somebody on the other end is receiving that money. So that means somebody got richer and richer and richer and richer and richer while 401ks got liquidated. That means some of your parents and grandparents might have to work a little bit longer. So the protection that was supposed to be there to keep you from was eroded because of somebody who made a stupid decision. You can call it stupid, you can call it unwise, you can call it whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it what I know it was, a stupid decision. All right, so this is going to equally help with breaking generational cycles. For marginalized communities, financial education is a powerful tool to disrupt cycles of poverty and create pathways of opportunity. What more could you possibly want? Opportunity. The more opportunities that are there for you, the more that you create behaviors that you can leave for those individuals who are coming up behind you. Leave a legacy of financial knowledge versus leaving a legacy of debt. and also wealth building. It lays the foundation for building, sustaining, and transferring generational wealth. We don't focus on generational wealth, and we have that, of all things, must be a new norm in this economy, in our new circumstances. 2025 for me was about helping as many people as I possibly can. Helping as many people. I promised that I would be here for Yonkers, and Yonkers has lived up to that understanding. But over the last couple of months, I've been looking at Yonkers with a little bit of side eye, as youngsters say today, with a little bit of trepidation, because I don't really know if Yonkers is fully behind Yonkers. But I'm going to find out over the next couple of weeks. I most certainly am, because I'm going to be at them town halls. I'm going to be at those forums. I'm going to be asking those questions as to how do we make sure that we are helping our community, because we didn't get here due to our own. We got here because we allowed individuals to have control that they should have maintained in the manner in which that constitutional understanding gave them that power to do so. But we're going to be correcting, and course correcting is a necessary understanding that must be had as we go through these financial literacy discussions. So financial literacy transform potential into power. It's how you take control of your future. It's just that simple. So we're going to set some financial goals for you today. All right. You down? Everybody? You ready for these financial goals? All right. We're going to unlock some success where the transformative power of setting financial goals. So first thing that we want you to do, a financial goal gives you money directions, transforming vague dreams into clear, actionable milestones. All right. So that's what we want you to start with, making sure that you're doing. Right. Gives your money direction. Where, what, how is your money working for you? It transforms vague dreams into clear, actionable milestones. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to be able to transform your vague dreams. What is it that you want out of life? And what you want out of life, I'm here to tell you, you can achieve it. You just got to want it. You got to want it more than those who are presenting it to you. That's what you got to do. You got to want it more than me. I know what you possibly can do with what this knowledge can provide for you, but you got to want it more than me. They empower you to build independence, navigate challenges with resilience, and lay the foundation for lasting financial success. This is what this does. Becoming financially literate literally opens doors that were once closed. And there's no reason for any of our people to be struggling in these times of great prosperity. Yes, great prosperity. If you knew what I knew. Most people don't know what I know. And that's why sometimes I always have these conversations where they want to have a confrontation. I'm not about that. I'll let them know real quick that if you're going to step into this space where I know some things that you might not know, you might walk away with a little bit of feeling kind of hurt. Because how is it that I know more than most people who are of a different ethnic group? It's not that I want to make anybody feel lesser than, but I'm going to tell you the God's honest truth about what we should be doing, especially those of us who are living in marginalized communities. So for marginalized communities, setting and achieving financial goals isn't just about money. We got to step away from that. We think it's just about money. It is not just about money. It is about achieving success. No matter how you spend that money, there should be some left over. It's not about going out, taking your hundreds and hundreds of dollars and saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to spend 75 and then I'm going to try to live off the 25. That's not going to happen. You got to reward yourself first. I'm always going to tell people, individuals, make sure you're rewarding yourself first. When you're rewarding yourself, you know what you do with that reward? You tend to keep it in that same perspective, 10 to 15%. Reward yourself. Let yourself know that I value me and I'm going to do something nice for me. And then go into taking care of those responsibilities. But reward yourself. Even if that reward is just a cup of coffee where you can sit out and you can soak in the sun, or you can soak in whatever day it is that you like to go get that cup of coffee. But don't overindulge. And a lot of us, unfortunately, that's what we do. We get into situations where we overindulge. And we need to stop overindulging because there's really no reason for us to overindulge. All right, so overindulging is a bad thing. All right, but definitely reward yourself. It's a powerful step towards breaking generational cycles of instability and building lasting empowerment. So these goals are real simple. They're not that challenging. They're actually something that every single person can do. I went over with my students a couple of weeks, actually this week was time management. 168 hours we have in a week. 168 hours we have in a week. After we take care of all of the things that are normally that include in a academic professionals or students, we'll call them academic professionals because that's what they are. They've been going to school for 12, 11, 10, 9 years. So they're academic professionals. But nevertheless, a lot of them don't even know that they even have a story to tell. They don't even realize that because they have went from kindergarten to ninth grade or ninth grade to, or from kindergarten 10th to 11th and 12th, that they have achieved so much in that academic space. They have more than a story to tell. But because of how academia has minimized that power, a lot of our kids don't believe that they have anything to include. And now that we're opening up that possibility with teaching them these life-changing, these values that help them navigate these spaces that they're going to find themselves in. And financial literacy is a space that you're going to find yourself in. And the earlier we make sure it's in their hands, the earlier we give them this understanding, the better they're going to be prepared for whatever is to come. All right, so a call out: dream boldly, plan strategically, and achieve beyond limits. All right, so the process of setting goals for vision, from vision to visionary. Oh, excuse me, I said visionary, my apologies. From vision to victory. How to set and achieve financial goals that transform your future. All right, so here's step one. You want to clarify your vision. What is it that you would like to achieve? Right? Identify what truly matters to you, whether it is a secured retirement, building savings, investing for the future, or achieving financial independence. What is it? Once you understand that, get a notepad. Start writing this stuff down. Put it into something that's going to allow for you to go back and take a look. All right, put it into a space and place that allows for you to navigate that and then go back and make the necessary course corrections if necessary. All right, number two, set targeted goals. Is it a month? Is it 2 months? I just had a client who said, hey, I need to get my credit situation back under control. I'm going to be setting up time for you. And I said, the first thing that I'm going to need from you is annual credit report. I can't let them dictate the recovery that I'm going to help them get into. Now, we're going to be working hand in hand to make sure that what he needs, that we get them to that. But we have to start somewhere. Clarify your vision. Set targeted goals. At which time do you want to see this, that, and the third happen? Transform your vision into clear, actionable goals that are specific, measurable, and time-bound. I'm sure you've heard that before if you've gone to school or if you've been in schools. Those are one of those SMART goals that we keep talking about all the time. Strategically align your finances. Ensure your income, saving habits, and investment choices are intentionally aligned with your long-term aspirations. Do not put yourself in a situation where you haven't controlled your spending and now your income is being affected by how you want to now start saving for whatever it is that you're going to be saving for. Intentional means that you're going to purposely do the things that you need to be able to reach those long-term aspirations. Purposely do things now intentionally. And once you start building that habit, you're going to see, oh my God, things are getting easier. Oh my God, things are getting easier. Oh my goodness, things are now shaping up. This is a process. All right. And in order for progress, you got to put in that work. And 4, you want to reflect, you want to reassess, and you want to refine. There's no getting around that. Every single thing in your life is going to have some part of where you're looking at it and you're going, wait a minute, this doesn't add up. I'm going to have to make a little bit of an adjustment. And we do it every single day. We do it every single day. When you get dressed in the morning, you might like that blue shirt with those black pants, but something's saying, doesn't look right. Let me change a little bit here. So we're constantly reassessing. We're constantly refining. So let's do the exact same thing when it comes to our finances. All right. It's not that hard. Life evolves. So should your financial goals. Regularly revisit and adjust your plan to stay on course. It is not that challenging. You have to make that time. And once you make that time, it becomes behavior. Once that behavior becomes the norm, you're going to do it religiously. Once you start doing it religiously, people around you are going to see and they're going to ask you, what are you doing? Because I see you're smiling a little bit more. What are you doing? Because I see there's a little bit more bounce in your step. What are you doing? Because I see you're maneuvering in a manner in which we didn't see a month ago or 2 months ago or 3 months ago. And share this with the people who are in your immediate circles. Make sure that you're having these conversations with your children, with the individuals inside that household, so that they are all in line with what you are attempting to do. You're not doing this just for yourself. You're doing this for the individuals that you are responsible for as well. So financial literacy isn't just about money. Again, it's the key to unlocking the freedom to build the life you envision. So mastering, you need it. We need to master these understandings. Take charge of your finances. Build the skills that builds wealth. That seems pretty easy. Build the skills that builds wealth. If you're not making enough money, then basically you got to go to that boss and say, hey, I need a raise. But you have to be able to present that in a manner in which your boss says, you know what, we value you. Absolutely. Here is your raise. But if you present it in a manner where your boss is going to look at you and say, well, you ain't really told me anything that I need to know. You know, we can give this job to somebody else for far less. And I think that's one of the most egregious understandings that I've ever seen within our working structure, that someone could intimidate you to the point where you're not even going to ask for a raise. These raises are not coming automatically. They should. That used to be the understanding. I remember, I'm not that old where I don't remember. I remember when I used to sit down and get my it was a 30-day performance review. Then after that 30 days, it went to a 90 days. So they gave you an additional 2 more months if they needed some corrections or whatever they needed to build upon. After that 90 days, you got another 90 days. So it was kind of like every 90 days, you were getting some type of review. Somebody was sitting down with you. Somebody was going over your performance. And then on top of that, they were also giving you an increase in your salary or your wage or whatever it was at that particular time or whatever category you were in. But you have to build the skills that build wealth, and knowing how to appreciate money, knowing how to understand how money works, knowing what you need to do to build that wealth. Well, you're going to have to need those skills. So money management is the strategic practice of controlling, allocating, and maximizing your financial resources. It involves setting clear financial goals, creating and maintaining a budget, tracking spending habits, and making informed decisions. There's that word again, informed decisions. The more you are informed about your decisions, the likelihood of achieving that goal is going to be there. All right. So that supports long-term stability and growth. Those decisions, those informed decisions, will set you apart from anyone who is not doing what we're asking you to do for your finances. Understanding the psychology of money empowers you to make smarter choices, curbs emotional spending, and builds lasting financial security. That's an easy. And you have to understand the psychology of money. I ask people, do you work for money? And the majority of individuals will say, of course I work for money. No, you don't. You work for a compensation, a wage, or you work for a salary that is not given to you directly in $100, $200, $300 bills. No, it's put into a banking account that you have set up with your employer. And that's where your resources go. They go into a bank account. And prior to you even having access to it, there are deductions that come from that. So whatever you have as a tax, whatever you have as monies that are putting away in a 401k, 304b, Roth IRA, CD, any of these investment vehicles, that's all taken out prior to you getting the remainder of that, which ends up in your bank account, or it ends up in the check format. And then you take that check format, if it is a check, you take that check format and you go to, and again, people, get away, nothing against check cashing places. I am all for how business works. But a check cashing place is going to charge you a fee to cash your check. Unlike a bank is still going to charge you a fee. And the bank actually, they're a little bit more scrupulous in their means. They even charge you even when you have to get your money out. So, as I say, check cashing places are not the worst. They are a means for you to receive the funding and also pay bills in the manner in which you need to live up to your contractual understandings. But you got to be careful with those types of institutions. Those fees are sometimes astronomical. But as I said, financial institutions like banks, they get you in so many different ways that sometimes many of us think that, well, a check cashing place would be the best thing to do. When you have cash in hand, you're going to spend it a lot faster. Okay? If you have a means to be able to control that, you'll probably learn how to not take your credit cards or take your income and blow it in the first 2 to 5 days, and then have to worry about how do I live through the remaining, week and a half before you get paid again. So let's move away from what harms us and let's focus on the things that we need to make sure that we're creating that stability that we want within our relationships with money. All right, so here's a tip. Harness the power of compounding. Small, consistent actions today can lead to significant wealth tomorrow. All right, so baby steps. Baby steps. We don't want anybody jumping right into, well, I'm going to save $100 or $500 a month. A month. If it's possible, congratulations. If you know yourself that well and you can actually save that amount, that's brilliant. That is amazing. Keep doing that. But if you don't know yourself that well, start off small and watch what that happens over time. And you're going to see that growth. And once you start seeing that growth, once you start seeing yourself doing things better on a daily basis, you're going to probably say, wow, why didn't I do this a long time ago? Well, the reason why you didn't do it a long time ago is because you didn't have someone who was giving you these tools, these gold nuggets. Now that you do, make sure that you are using these. All right. This is not just for me to speak, and I'll do this. I'm like Morgan Freeman. I love the sound of my voice. And I'm going to keep doing it as long as the Creator gives me the opportunity and the breath to do it. So manage, budget, and make sure that you understand how this works. So well-managed budgets breakdown. What do? We get our daily expenses. That's 50% of where our money goes. We should be saving somewhere on that 30%, putting it away for those rainy days. And then you have another 20% that can go into savings, that can go into a variety of different understandings, but make sure those savings and those investments, they give you a good return on your investment. If they're not giving you a good return on your investments, you need to start speaking up. As I said, I've watched what I've watched over the last couple of weeks, and I was just like, oh my goodness, what in the world is going on here? Where people who have worked so hard have lost so much and now must go back out there and work harder to not break even. That's never going to happen. But you're going to have to work harder because of a ill-advised individual who did something that they should have never done. And now it's going to cost tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of individuals, their livelihood, that hard work that they put into, it's now going to cost them dearly. But nevertheless, this is not about gloom and doom. This is about the things that you now need to do to make sure that you're going to be okay moving forward, regardless of someone else's choices. All right, so we're going to empower financial resilience. All right, we're mastering money management for lasting stability. That's all it is. It's empowering you. And I hope it is motivating you as well to start thinking more strategically about how do you get from behind some of these financial concerns. Financial literacy is a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing, and I'm going to be imploring that as we move through these years and months, or it's going to be months, years, and decades, that we get it back into our academia spaces. This cannot be a back of the bus issue any longer. This must be a front of the bus topic and subject matter. So the power of financial mastery, why smart money management is essential. Resilience, act as a safety net, shielding you from unexpected setbacks and preventing financial hardships. What happened since the inauguration up until now, that put some people in unexpected setbacks. It may have put individuals in financial hardship. We can't let that happen ever again. We have to have more control over whom we're giving our resources to. Because a lot of these companies, they get your money. They don't tell you nothing about what's going on. When you call them up, sometimes you can get them. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes they send you an email. Oh, get back to it in 3 to 5 business. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Everybody who has your money needs to be available when you call them up, period. We need to be flexible, enabling you to adapt to life's surprises without compromising your long-term financial goals. Flexible. And as you need to be flexible, the individuals that are managing your money equally need to be available to answer those questions. And I hope tonight that many of you go out and you do what I'm asking you to do. Call your financial advisors. Call these individuals and ask them, since the inauguration, where was I? And as of today, where am I? See what their answers is. And then after you ask them that question, ask them, well, where were you and where are you now? Meaning that company. And if those numbers aren't comparable, you got a bit of a problem there. You don't have a problem, I would say. They have a problem because they're going to have to justify how is it that their company made more money in percentage-wise than you did if they're managing your money. Now, the banks are the exact same way. If you put money in the bank, why are you only getting 0.02, 0.03, up to possibly 0.09? Why are you getting so little when it's your money? And if you know what I know, which I'm hoping a lot of you do, the money that goes into a bank, the bank uses that money to lend to other people. They're using our resources to lend to other people. And what do we get back in return for that? Yes, exactly. Silence is what we get back in return for that. And that needs to be renegotiated. We need to find havens. We need to find locations and spaces for faces like ours, which are going to give us a good return on our investments. And if they can't do that, then it's up to us. It's imperative that we reallocate those resources into things that are going to give us that return that we deserve. We cannot keep being guinea pigs for this financial market when we put a lot of our resources into the financial spaces. So applying financial knowledge from learning to earning, unlocking financial success through actions. So first, financial knowledge becomes powerful only when put into action, right? If you have derogatory items on your credit report and you haven't addressed them, go to annual credit report and get your credit report. Once you have that credit report, set up a time frame, meet with me so we can go over what is in there that might be preventing you from the success that you want. If you're not using credit, I'm going to tell you right now, credit is the only building tool. Credit is the only building tool. If you can't get a unsecured product, start with a secured product. We'll be going over that in a later show. It empowers you to make informed, there's that word again, informed, data-driven decisions, spots opportunities with confidence, and steers clear of costly mistakes. That's what we do. We are constantly finding ways to shortchange ourselves, all because we are not informed. And we need to stop making those hasty decisions. I see kids all the time, nothing against their parents, nothing against these kids. I am all for what you do with your money. That's your money, you've grown. But what I'm not for is I'm not for seeing individuals splurge like crazy. Again, remember something about your favorite artist. Remember something about your favorite movie star. Remember something about that TV personality. Remember something about that sports athlete. A lot of them get their stuff for free, F-R-E-E, just like I'm giving you this information for free. All right. But for you as an individual to go out and try to emulate individuals who get things for free while you have to pay oodles, that's a bad money decision. Now, until they can bring those costs down to something reasonable, to go out there and spend what I see these kids walking around schools with, I got to wonder, are you really making decisions based off of sound, informed, data-driven information? Or are you just, oh, my kid has to have, because they don't need to be stigmatized? If they got clothes, they're not going to be stigmatized. Okay? There's nothing wrong with going out cost-effective shopping, doing the right thing so it would stretch that dollar even further. And if you know a little bit about the dollar, as well as I know, the dollar is not even a dollar anymore. If it's 75 cents, I would be surprised. I think it's more like 65 cents. So we've watched the cost of items go higher and higher and higher, not allowing that dollar to be as effective as it once was. So we have to steer clear of these costly mistakes. And understanding how money works is one of those costly mistakes that we have to now break the cycle on. Apply what you know isn't just smart. It's how you take control over your financial future instead of leaving it to chance. I used to be that type of individual. I went 10 years coming back to Yonkers, making sure that I was delivering upon what I was told to do when I got back here. Not by an individual. Me and the creator sat down and had a good conversation. He said, son, I need you to go back to Yonkers. I was like, oh, Lord, why? You really don't want me to go back there? You're not sending me back to a place where I said never, 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 never. He said, yes, yes, yes. And ever since I came back, I've been doing. And I'm going to continue to keep doing, because as I said when I started the program, I'm here for a reason. I'm positioned with the knowledge that I have for this very moment in our history. And I'm applying it, and so should you. You shouldn't do it because I'm telling you to do it. You should do it because you want to do it. All right, so here's a tip for you. The tip: applied knowledge unlocks control, independence, and long-term wealth. When you take that brain, when you take that brain and you start applying that knowledge, oh, it's going to open up more than enough opportunities and possibilities for you. But you just have to want it more than those who are presenting it. Once you do, you're going to find that life is going to give you exactly what you want. So, theory in motion, empowering change through actions, turning financial wisdom into real-world results. All right, so step one, mastering budgeting to take control of your cash flow, tracking income and expenses with intention. Again, there's another key word: do things intentionally. All right, create a budget that prioritizes needs, limits overspending, and ensures every dollar has a purpose. All right, when you start doing that, when you start checking off, and when you start writing down, and when you start following, you're going to see the results that you're looking for. Step two, strategically invest to build generational wealth. Put your money to work through diversified investments that match your risk tolerance, time horizon, and future goals. Right? Money is a tool, and if it's used properly, you can build lasting generational wealth. You just have to know how to use it strategically. Step 3, leveraging tax knowledge to maximize your income. Understanding how tax affects your earning and investments. Use deduction credits and tax advantages accounts to to keep more of what you earn. I am not a tax person, but this is important. So what you need to do is make sure that you have a great tax person. And if you have a great tax person that, again, will get compensated for helping you navigate that tax space so that you can get more of what you have already put out there back, that's a win-win. So find you someone who is trusting, who is an authority in that space. Now, I can't promote anyone on this show, but I can tell you I got a good friend. And her name is Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse. And I'm telling you, I can vouch that she not only is one of the most informed, if not the most informed, when it comes to helping her community. This young lady has done amazing things already, and she is just at the peak of where she needs to be because there's a much bigger iceberg that she's got to still chop down. But tune into her show, get informed with her knowledge, and then make that informed decision as to whether or not this is going to be the perfect individual for you. And I tell everybody, don't believe what's coming out of my pie hole. Don't believe every word coming out of my pie hole. Do your own homework. After you've done your homework, I can say with confidence, 98% of the information that I'm giving you is spot on. Is spot on to help you get out of whatever financial conditions that you might find yourself in right now. And it's okay. But definitely, Access Wealth Nation, Anaj Enterprise. Access Wealth Nation is Thursdays at this very same time. Do not just overlook the opportunities that are going to be presented to you. Definitely take full control because that's what it's there for. Hey, we're about to wrap this up. We got about 10 more minutes. If you got a question or two that you want me to answer while we're navigating this space, please pop it into the question area on the channels in which you are watching. All right, so align every financial decision with your long-term vision. Stay focused on your big picture goals. Make constant, intentional choices that moves you closer to financial freedom and stability. All right, there's two of those words again. Intentional. All right, we got two of them. All right, intentional, informed. All right, do not do things that are not intentional with the information that you now have that made you informed about those long-term financial goals. Do it for you. Don't do it for anyone else. Do it for you, and then make sure that you've done it for you, and make ultimately sure that the individuals that you leave this to understands the pathway in which you got there, because you don't want to leave what you're going to leave behind and then find out that someone's going to squander it. You won't be finding it out, obviously, but you don't want individuals to squander all of what you worked so hard to create. So make sure that they understand the importance of what it is that you're doing as well. So the critical need for financial literacy in today's economic. I said economics, but I meant economy. My apologies. I told you before, I suffer from, but I have grown up with dyslexia. So sometimes I'll see a word and I'll project it to be a word that it's not. And then I have to go back and I have to correct myself. So some of us do still struggle with some of those challenges that we had as a youth, and then we brought it into our adulthood. But you know one thing about me, I never stop improving myself. I write now, I do things that I thought I would never be able to do. Sitting right here in front of you and doing this is something that I never thought in a million years I'd be able to do. But due to Soul City giving me the opportunity, due to individuals believing in me that said, hey, you are much bigger and brighter and better than you could ever possibly imagine. And I'm encouraging anyone who's listening to me either now or later to do the exact same thing. All right, so why you can't afford to wait. In today's fast-changing economy, financial literacy it's not a luxury, it is a necessity. Rising costs, inflation, economic uncertainty makes it clear you must take control over your financial future. It's just that simple. What we watched happen since the inauguration, but the biggest chunk of what took place was last week. if you weren't connected or didn't hear or didn't feel the ouch, you might want to go back and take a look at your 401k, 304Bs, Roth IRAs. And as I said before, you made that money marginally, little bits and pieces that you were able to add to them 401ks, those investment vehicles. They were marginal increases. And then you watch a decision being made that was taking chunks and chunks and chunks of those marginal increases that you were making. And now you're going to have to work a little bit longer or harder to get not break even. You're never going to break even. And that's the saddest part about what transpired, because we were not financially literate. All right, so staying on the sideline is no longer an option. In a world where financial independence defines opportunities, the cost of inactions is simply too high. And I wish there was something, and we're going to definitely be looking into what can we do to recoup some of that money that was stolen, in my opinion, stolen, because the individuals managing those accounts should have had not necessarily a better outlook on, but they should have been able to prevent a lot of your losses. And unfortunately, it didn't happen. But we're going to be definitely looking into it with other experts who are also in this space as well. So here's a call out for you. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is now. So get out of your way, folks. So still waiting? The world won't wait for you. So what is it? You have to take the next step. Don't just sing it. Call Tyrone for real this time. I love that, because Erykah Badu, and I say it over and over and over, has given everyone permission to call Tyrone. So take control of your financial future starting now. All right. My phone should be ringing off the hook later this evening. My texts should be filling up. My email should be blowing off its hinges, because now you have a platform, you have a layout of what to do. And if you are able to do it on your own, congratulations, go for it, do it, make it happen. But if you are not, you have a partner, you have a individual and a group of individuals that are willing to step in to guide you along your financial journey. Financial literacy is more than knowledge. It's the key to empowerment, stability, and lasting wealth. When you make time, and I love it again, is my make time. When you make time to invest in your financial education, you're taking the first step towards a future you deserve. So don't wait. Don't wonder. Call Tyrone today and begin your journey to financial freedom and success. It's in your hands. All right, so take control. The power to build wealth is in your hands. Financial literacy is the cornerstone to a secure future and a gateway to lifelong opportunities. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you to take control. All right, so thank you for investing your time. Let's lead the way towards a future where financial empowerment is a reality for all. This is not something that is just in the hands of those who believe we are not worthy. We are worthy. We go to work every single day. We are worthy. We do our part to include ourselves in society. We are worthy. Your children are worthy. Grandma and grandpa who gave us the opportunity. Ancestors who laid out the foundation for us. We are worthy. And now it's our time to shine. So drop us a line, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a couple of quotes that I'd like to leave with you before we get out of here. Financial literacy is a blueprint for navigating the ever-changing landscapes of today's financial world, empowering you to make informed, there it is again, confident decisions at every turn. All right? Wealth isn't created by chance. It's built through knowledge. That one I love the most. So write that one down. You need some affirmations to put on your TV or on your mirror. Wealth isn't created by chance. It's built through knowledge. Understanding the principles behind money, assets, and growth is the first step towards lasting financial freedom. I'm glad that I had the opportunity of redoing this one because, again, this particular PowerPoint presentation, if anybody wants it for their organization or anybody wants it to do on their own, I don't mind sharing this information and giving it to you so that you can do what I do, which is present it to the individuals within that household, the individuals within your organization, the individuals within those spaces in which you see the same faces and races in which you can share this information. So hit me up, 805-428-9424. You can leave me an email at leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. Also, we have this thing called Linktree. We're in the process, as I said, of building out our websites. We got 3 new websites coming. Hopefully, they'll be done by the end of financial literacy. But I'm not rushing anyone. I'm letting them take their sweet time to give us a product that's going to just blow everyone's mind when it finally hits the airwaves. But nevertheless, we use Linktree. That is Linktree/leveragecreditrecovery.com. It's a great avenue and space where you can link multiple things to let your audience know who you are. And also, if you are in the neighborhood, we are right across the street from the post office. We're diagonally across the street from the train station, and we are right in the town center where all the buses come through. So 86 Main Street, Yonkers, New York, 10701. We have you covered, ladies and gentlemen. We have you covered. And I hope you enjoyed this program today because we went over some basics. We helped you get back on track, hopefully. We've given you some gems, some gold nuggets. Go out there and do your part. Become financially literate so that you and the future that you want for whomever it may be that you're presenting it for, you have what you need. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you as always for making time. Make more time to come back at next Tuesday when we bring our youth of color. I am so excited. I would have loved to do it today, but that's okay. I am super excited about bringing our youth into so that they can give you what their understanding is about why it's important to be financially literate at this most opportune time in our world. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you very much. I am so grateful to you for giving me the opportunity. And as always, be safe, America.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.